Guys, so welcome. This is Eric with Psycho Trader. As always, I hope you're having an excellent day. So guys, we wanted to start this mini series. We're gonna try to do it every day, at least a couple of times a week, where we come together after market close and we just spend some time with you guys going over stock market related things. We can look at charts, earnings, after hours movers, whatever you want. So please feel free to send us comments. And then at the end, I want to wrap it up with a market recap. Some of you may be familiar with our market recap. We post it in our social media and in our website, and we send it to our members as well. It's completely free. So if you want to sign up, feel free to check it out on the website. It's psychotrader.com. But yeah, so the idea here is just to, talk about things that could be of interest to you guys. I'll try to give you my insight on things. I'll try to show you what I'm looking at. Try to talk about what are some of the things that I'm thinking about or that I consider when trading, and hopefully you can pick out bits and pieces of information that you can apply to your own strategies that hopefully are of value to you. So that's the main idea here, always to provide value. And then in the end, we wrap it up with a market recap, which provides sort of more, macroeconomic perspective. We look at bigger companies, big indexes. So yeah, I spend a lot of my time and energy during the day, day trading. So I'm looking for volume. I'm chasing momentum. And a lot of the stocks that I'm looking at are penny stocks. There are usually priced under $10. I don't like to go too low, so I don't like stocks under $1. When we start getting into cents, it's not my favorite, but I'll do it every once in a while. But my favorite, are stocks priced between $2.50 to about $6. Okay, that's really my sort of sweet spot. Okay. Anyway, so for example, one of the stocks that I was looking at today, which was a really good one, was NAOV. Okay, so Nano Vibronics. They're like a digital. They're a medical device company. So one of their products, the Pain Shield, okay, had some news this morning. They had some news this morning where one of their products was authorized to be sold over the counter. So what it is specifically, I'm not an expert on it, but apparently they're like a little device that has patches that you can put like on different parts of your body where you have pain, and it treats pain, using ultrasound technology, and it's sort of supposed to give you, relief for pain. Hence the pain shield, and yeah. So so let's take a look at the chart. Yeah, I'm talking here crazy things. Let's take a look at the chart. Okay, so in the last couple of days, they've been shipping this thing. I think they sent a PR on this big green candle that they started shipping this new product. And then along the days, they came out some news with some partnerships and some distribution agreements. And then today, so wait 1 second. So they're coming out with partnership and distribution agreements. And this thing is holding. Okay, so this stock is traded terribly the last year or so. Okay, so for the last year, it's just been down here, under $1. And then a couple of weeks ago, boom, we had this huge green candle, jumped up to 263, and this was on news that the first order had already been shipped. Then it was volatile, distribution agreement, partnerships, and then today we got some news that their product would be authorized to be sold over the counter. So, let's take a look at it. Well, the first thing I did in the morning, I did my gappers watch list, of course. Went through my plays, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the first thing I posted this morning. All right. Today she's doing this right now. This is what's at 7:56. Okay. So I'm in Panama right now. So the market opens here at 8:30. So this was about 34 minutes before market opened. Okay. And then I tagged the news here. Okay. So what am I looking at? I'm looking at a stock, okay, that's been trading very strong, because when you're down here, sort of, in this tight range, and then you have such a big jump, usually stocks will retrace, okay? So they will come down and, very close to recent levels, if not down to recent levels. Sorry, guys. Didn't sleep too much last night. But in this case, the thing sort of held, okay? So you see it's holding this level here, so around over 2, under 260. It's sort of holding that level for a lot of days, and we continue to get some news out. And then this morning, okay, we got the over-the-counter news, and we could see it, let's say, gapping up pre-market, okay? So this morning, this is what we were looking at. So I already know, okay, because I've been following the stock for the last couple of days, I already know, okay, so it's held, sort of the range. It's been building momentum. We've gotten nice PRs, and this thing is gapping up today, okay? I know it has 24 million shares, and by pre-market, okay, so even before the market opened, it had already, I don't know if I wrote it, okay, so yeah, it had already traded over 8 million shares pre-market, all right? That's a big number, guys. That's a big relative number, okay? So, we have a stock, penny stock, big jump, holding levels, semi-lower-ish share structure, 24 million. It's not super low, but it's not super high. So 24 million, 8 million shares traded pre-market, gapping up, it has momentum. So this is definitely a stock that I'm interested in watching today, okay? I don't know for certain if it's going to go up or if it's going to go down where the market opens, but I know that, this is gathering a lot of attention, okay? So at the very least, I'm expecting volatility, all right? And as traders, we make money with volatility. In this case, this thing traded beautifully. Volume was really high all throughout the session. So as long as it was over VWAP, we're buying the dips and we're selling the pops, okay? And then also, as we're selling, we're moving our stops up, okay? To protect our capital. We don't know if this thing popped here and then, it could have just dumped. It could have, but we don't know that, okay? So, but yeah, so those elements led me to believe that there was a possibility that this could pop or fall in a big way, okay? Fortunately, it went to the upside, but yeah. So let's see, what other stock were we looking at? Oh, here's a good one. We were looking at Any. So Any, why Any? Okay, so we didn't have news or anything like that, but this was for another reason. Okay, cryptos have been very strong over the weekend. Okay, so I know also that last week or 2 weeks ago, this thing gapped up super hard on. It did have news. Let me find it. This was on 8/6. Okay, let's find the news. Okay, yeah. So so they purchased. Yeah, 60,000 new Bitcoin mining machines. All right, so I knew big gap up, sort of trading very volatile. It sort of retraced here. So we can see the price, retracing after that big gap on volume, retracing. And then over the weekend, just browsing around day trading communities, the big ones, big trading accounts on Twitter, on Reddit, people were talking a lot about this stock. Okay, and one of the things that I like about this is that it's a big Bitcoin miner, or it's going to be a big Bitcoin miner, and it's going to be a carbon neutral Bitcoin miner. Okay, so we have two really hot topics with crypto and the carbon neutral with the environmental things going on, and the social media. This is something that I'm already interested in looking. Okay, and so we were looking at it, and then when it was around, say, it was 420. Where is it? Okay, I don't know where it is. Let's look for it. All right, here it is. Yeah, so oh no, here it is. Any 420. Look at this tweet. I know a lot of you are watching any. Watch it off the bottom here at 420. Okay. So why at the bottom here? Because already, you know, a big dump. Look at this, big dump, big red candle, and then bam, it caught itself around, you know, 416. It caught itself in a big way, and then it traded and bam, caught itself, and then bam, caught itself. You know, by the third or fourth 10-minute candle, I'm like, dude, this thing looks like it has the potential to hold 415. I don't know if it's gonna hold or not, but you know, it's a reasonable chance that it holds. And if not, you know, if I'm taking a day trade, my downside, because like clearly it's holding 416, okay, and my, you know, if it breaks this level here, then I'm gonna be out. Okay, that's gonna be a signal for me to get out. So I'm trying to buy as low as possible here around 420, and my stop is so tight. You know, I could put my stop, let's say at 410. I'm risking 10 cents, okay, for the potential, you know, to have all this upside, okay, because you know it has already shown that it hit 450 intraday. So maybe I don't want to get back to 450, but you know, it's got the space, or it's got the range. All right, so you know, yeah, guys, look at it. You know, Bitcoin is up, very popular name. You know, it's got big volume. It's sort of try to gap up. It couldn't hold, but you know, there are certain things. It's interesting. It's a hot name. It's on the lower flow. Is it? Yeah, 20 million. So in comparison to some other ones like SOS or something like that, that is up here, which has I think 100 million shares. But yeah, so yeah, guys, watch it at 420. Downside is very, very tight. And yeah, fortunately, it did what we wanted. It started to retrace. It test VWAP. I said, hey guys, testing VWAP. Why VWAP? Because that's going to be a key level. Okay, it's going to have some trouble to get over that or to break down from that always. And lo and behold, you know, it sort of tested, retraced a little bit, took a breather, and then boom, broke through in a big way, and then traded strongly the rest of the day. It closed out at a beautiful, beautiful 474 or 471, you know, near session highs, right? Very cool stock that we were watching. Another one that we were watching was Codex, not Kodak, Codex, this one. Okay. Again, Codex is a diagnostic company with all the cases going up. You know, I knew that this on Friday had tried to claim the 200 MA and failed. So this is a level, you know, it's a sort of an interesting level. It had big volume on Friday, so I want to keep my eyes on it for today. All right. I was monitoring the whole day. I wanted to see a big break from 11. We didn't get that big break, but you know, we got a nice trend to hit a high of 1160. Not super huge, but you know, acceptable, very stress-free sort of run. You know, we didn't have any big pullbacks, just sort of trended nicely and upward all day. So those are some of the things that we're looking at, guys. And you know, again, I encourage you, you know, send us questions. Eric, why Codex? You know, what does the share structure have to do with anything that you're talking about? Where can I go find the news? Let me know what you're interested in, and I'll try to get, you know, on this series, I'll try to get and to those questions, answer them, and as always, you know, try and provide as much value as possible for you. Okay. What else, guys? What else? So those are basically the stocks or the big names that I was looking at. We had a nice breakout in AUUD, but let's not talk about that right now. I want to go over what's going on right now. So DLPN, let's see what's going on right now. It's moving. Why is it moving? Okay, so they just posted earnings. Let's see what they're doing. Okay, so revenue increases 66% year on year and 20 sequentially to a record. Okay, so these are all good like data points. Okay, 66% year on year. That's pretty cool. But this 20% sequential, it means that they grew 20% from last quarter. Okay, that's pretty cool. Um, and then the fact that it's a record. So right now the company is the best it's ever been. So that's also good to know. All right. So yeah, they've launched NFTs, very hot topic. Okay, I can understand. So I mean, I'm not gonna go through the whole earnings, but you can see, just like certain little things that could cause that are causing the stock to move in after hours. Okay, um, so yeah, Q2 EPS 13 cents up for. Look at this, from a loss of 62 cents. Wow, that's a big jump, guys. That's a big jump. I wouldn't be surprised that this trended, continue to trend upward. Into after hours and then gapped up tomorrow morning. Okay, so this is something that I would be looking at. I would go the way I would do it. I would just go over here to my daily chart. I would start charting in some important levels on the daily. I mean, I don't want to get too crazy, but this is what I'm looking at, sort of. And then I'll come over here to the intraday chart and then sort of check out the levels that I just drew. They make sense intraday as well. So I'm going to leave this here, for tomorrow and continue to monitor into tomorrow and pre-market and then potentially tomorrow during the day. Okay. So yeah, I have it right here on my scanner. It's on another screen, but I can see it popping. It's up 15% after hours. Okay. Another one that is popping right now, LMFAA. Okay, that's very nice. What's it doing? Earnings as well. Q2 EPS 2. Wow. That's huge. Right, okay. Net income of 11 point. Okay, yeah. Okay, very nice. I mean, I'm not too familiar with this company. I'm not an expert. I think this is a blank check or a holding company or something like that. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, look at this, man. 205 up from 56. That's amazing. That's huge. And yeah, feel free to check out the earnings report and go a little bit more in depth. But I can see here, it's moving, guys. It's moving in a big way. Okay. And then same thing. We go back. Oh, we had already our levels charted. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay, so our levels are already charted. And this is what we would use. These are the pivot points that I would use for reference if I were interested in trading this, say, tomorrow pre-market or tomorrow at session open or whatever. Of course, because after hours and pre-market, they trade a little bit differently because it's, obviously a lot less volume. So by the time that the session opens tomorrow, I would sort of, keep these movements of after hours and pre-market. I'll keep them in mind, but, I would start to make my decisions on day trading or scalping it, based on what it's doing in the session tomorrow. Okay. So personally, my strategy would not be to sort of, buy it after hours into tomorrow or buy it pre-market for the open. Okay, if I buy a pre-market, I'm looking to sell pre-market and then I'm just gonna wait for the open. All right, that's the way I would do it, but feel free to do whatever you want. But yeah, so again, I would chart these LMFAA. There you go. What else is moving? FBRX, Forte Biosciences. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Talk about a dump. And it's a nasty dump. Okay, so it didn't like catch itself in this double bottom here. It sort of broke through with no regard. Yeah, that's a nasty looking chart. Unless you get this after hours. Big gap up, 20. It's already back up here. But again, guys, this is moving on a lot less volume than it normally does at open. So I wouldn't be surprised this could trend upward, and then by the time session comes tomorrow, the actual session, it could dump. Okay, so I don't know, but again, I would draw or chart my levels out if I were interested in, let's say, trading this. I would sort of chart my levels out. Let's see, what are we looking at? So there's a sort of level here. I can see there's sort of a level here. Not super clean, but let's chart it in anyway. Let's do a couple more. So I would sort of chart this. Wow, this is a choppy chart. All right, so these are, roughly, oh my gosh. These are, roughly some of the levels that I'll be looking at. Again, they're having earnings. No. Yes. Let's see what's going on. For the buy and size, review the second quarter results and top line data from phase 2 clinical trial for the treatment of atopic dermatitis. All right, phase 2. All right, so atopic dermatitis, not super hot. It's not cancer or Alzheimer's or something like that, but atopic dermatitis is a very, very common, let's say, condition. So there's a big market for products that help people with this condition. Okay, so positive data from phase 2 could move the stock. All right. Phase 1, maybe not. Phase 2, it becomes a little more important. By phase 3, if you get positive data on phase 3 or on phase 2Bs, that's something that we want to be aware of, because it could definitely have an impact on the price. All right, so this is another one, guys. So we've just taken a look at 3 stocks that are moving after hours. We've charted their levels, and I would sort of use those levels for my criteria, or as guiding points for my decision making to buy and sell into those levels, either after hours, pre-market, or during the session tomorrow. Okay, but yeah, you guys want to do one more, or is that okay? Let's do one more. SSKN. Boom, ugly looking chart. And let's see. Okay, so what's going on here? Okay, so they announced acquisition of U.S. dermatology business of Raw Medical Systems. I do not know neither Strata nor Raw Medical Systems. But okay, so they announced an acquisition. They're reporting results as well. Let's see. So total revenue for second quarter, 7.4 million, increase of 83%. Wow. I mean, that's good. That's a big number. Recurring revenue. That's, everybody likes recurring revenue. A 95% increase in recurring revenue. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Gross domestic billings, 196%. Wow. Okay. So in total, okay, so gross domestic recurring billings is the same thing as recurring revenue. I don't know why they would do that. Whatever. Yeah, I guess that's just, companies will sometimes try to paint the same data in like different formats. Okay, so depending on what's better for them. So that's one of those cases. Never mind. So gross margins improved. That's good. So it means that that they're keeping more of what they're making, or it costs less to sell what they're selling. So cash and cash equivalents were down. Okay, this is not super cool. Okay, wow. Okay, this is something to take note. They were down 17 million from I know, 17 million down from 17.5. Okay, so this is good. Wow. Okay, so yeah, so overall, pretty nice earnings. I'm not familiar with the company, so I wouldn't play it, but I would do the same thing. Okay, I would chart it out. I would chart out my pivot levels. Yeah, I don't want to go too crazy, but yeah. So okay, so that's sort of what we get. Let's do one more. All right, so yeah, again, here it is moving in after hours. Here it is moving in after hours, and these would be the levels, that I would use for reference. Okay. Um, anyway, let's see if the recap is up. And guys, again, if you have any questions, if I say something crazy here that maybe you don't understand, something about the share structure or something about a phase 2 trial, or whatever, something about earnings, and I'm saying something about the debt structure or an acquisition or something like that, and you want to know more, I mean, please, 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 I encourage you, send us a message. Our inbox is open on Twitter. Send us an email, info@psychotrader.com. There's a million, reach out to us on Reddit. We look at everything, and I'll be happy to answer your questions to the best of my abilities, okay? Because again, we're looking here to provide you guys with value, and if we can do that, then we're happy, okay? So I'm just here checking to see if the market recap is up. It is. Okay, so I'm going to pull it in right now. All right, so this is the market recap for today. Monday, August 16. Let's see. Stock finished mixed with the S&P and Dow Jones remarkably. That was remarkable, guys. I mean, I was sitting here this morning, the thing dumped, the situation in Afghanistan, President Biden not addressing the country yet. I thought the market was going to be weak for the entire day, okay? I am amazed at how fast and strong it recovered. But yeah, so new intraday record. Wow. Despite massive geopolitical concerns and disappointed economic data coming out of China. That's crazy. That's crazy. Tech-heavy Nasdaq also recovered to finish roughly even, while the Russell 2000, tracks the performance of small caps, was down 0.75 at the time of writing. All right. Normally, it's not always like this, but normally, intraday, if you have the big caps running, a lot of the money is flowing there, so the IWM makes sense that it lags. On the opposite, or consequently, when the IWM is moving fast, a lot of money is going into those small caps, and so you would half expect to see the big indexes sort of trade sideways. Okay. Anyway, so China released economic data for July that showed growth rates slowed down dramatically as the world's second largest economy battles with summer flooding and the resurgence of coronavirus. That stupid Delta variant. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so industrial production grew by 6.4% in July, a sharp deceleration from the 8.3 rise in June and below the 7.9 growth expected. Wow. Retail sales grew by 8.5%, but still below the 12.1% increase in June. and missing expectations. Wow. The National Bureau of Statistics noted that the impact of multiple factors, including the growing external uncertainties and the domestic COVID-19 epidemic and flooding situation, say that the economic recovery is still uneven or unstable. Wow. Guys, this breaks my freaking heart what's going on in Afghanistan. It's wild. Disorder in Afghanistan further weighed on global markets, with chaos erupting in the capital city of Kabul the last days as civilians try to flee the country, being swiftly overtaken by the Taliban. I mean, I saw some horrendous videos in social media yesterday and today, and my prayers go out for them. I don't really even know what to say. It's amazing, the images that are coming out of there. Anyway, yeah. So the president of Afghanistan, or the former president, I guess, left on Saturday. So fled the country on Saturday. While it was being overtaken by the Taliban, and now they are, in the process of forming a new government. Yeah. So, more unfortunate news. Jesus Christ. The number of children hospitalized in the U.S. with COVID-19 has reached a new record of 1,902 across the country as of Saturday. According to Reuters, children now comprise 2.4% of all coronavirus hospitalizations as the surge brought on by the Delta variant continues. Moreover, the number of COVID-19 patients aged 18 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 49 also reached record levels high last week. So guys, this is pretty alarming. If these numbers are true, wow. So the U.S. now has an average of 29,000 new COVID cases per day, a rate that has doubled in a little over 2 weeks. I don't understand. Wow. I mean, I'm not an expert in public health matters, but that's pretty alarming. All right. Almost 1/3 of all COVID hospitalizations in the U.S. are in Texas or Florida. I guess Texas and Florida, make up around 1/3 of all COVID hospitalizations. It'd be interesting to see, what sort of things are going on specifically in Texas or Florida that could be contributing to something like this. But yeah, so according to data analysis by the Associated Press, 98 or 99% of the ones hospitalized with COVID are unvaccinated. Wow. So they're calling this the pandemic of the unvaccinated. I mean, I don't want to get political, guys. I'm just trying to, let's say, filter the facts, through our daily recap. Okay, you can believe this is true or not. That we're not in here to debate that, but what we're here to debate is how that affects, the stock market, stock prices, our trades, and our investments specifically. Okay, but yeah, so hence why I was looking at Codex this morning. It's a diagnostics company. They do some of the tests for COVID-19. So yeah, one of the reasons we were looking at it. We were also looking at the vaccines. They didn't perform very well this morning, but there was news out of I think it was Moderna or Novavax or something like that. That the second generation. Let me pull it up. The second generation vaccines. Here it is. CVAC and Moderna. So second generation vaccines, RNA vaccines, are having improved immune response and protection in preclinical study. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I thought vaccines would go up with that, especially the RNA type vaccines, but was not the case. So let's continue. Okay. Yeah. So as of Friday, 91% of the companies in the SPY have reported Q2 earnings, with 87% of these topping consensus estimates on earnings per share. Wow, that's huge. That's amazing. I mean, what is going on? Do we have low expectations? Is there too much money in the market? I don't know. That's amazing. That's an amazing statistic. The expected year-over-year overall growth rate for the SPY currently stands at 89.3%, the fastest increase since the Q4 2009. Oh my God. You know, and my brother like puts these together, and I'm reading them like most of you are. Okay, so um, we'll talk during the day mostly about this lower section on the highlights, but then he'll go, and he'll put together this huge like macroeconomic analysis, and he does this daily, guys, and it really helps to maintain context on the market and just the world in general. But yeah, so David Costin, chief U.S. equity strategist at Goldman Sachs, said, in an earnings season with many surprises, including the highest frequency of EPS beats in our 22-year data history, one of the most notable was the surge in corporate buyback activity. Strong corporate equity demand is one reason we forecast a 5% return to our S&P year-end target of 470. Wow. I mean, yeah, I can definitely see this happening. I don't know, guys. Look, trillions and trillions of dollars injected into the economy. Unemployment is not decreasing as fast as we would like, and we have corporate earnings just absolutely destroying. I mean, this statement here, okay? In an earnings season with many surprises, including the highest frequency of EPS beats in our 22-year data history. I mean, of course, that has something to do with a stimulus, okay? Because not only are, companies beating forecasts and estimates, but their stock prices are at record high levels as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you guys. I'd rather look at individual names and yeah. Anyway, so some highlights. Okay, in the past month or so, financial, material, industrial, and healthcare stocks have outperformed the SPY, while the rally in tech has cooled down. That makes sense. Shares of Tesla fell. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah. So the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opened a formal safety investigation into Tesla's autopilot system, where it has identified 11 crashes since January 2018 in which Tesla models have encountered first responder scenes and subsequently struck one or more vehicles involved with those scenes. Okay, so this is let's see how big of an impact it had on Tesla stock. Oh, okay, so it's under 700. So quite a drop, okay? The markets, here's just my little take, okay? So the markets tend to overreact either to the downside or to the upside. On news like this, okay, so that they opened an investigation, would take months, to develop, or, it's going to be months until we hear something new on this. So, and by the time that happens, people would have forgotten about it and this thing would trade normally, okay? So on a news like that, on a drop like this, I would be looking for signs that this was an overreaction and that it was going to bounce. Also, if you look at the chart, it's at a key level because it's bouncing down to right about the 200 and the 50 MA. Okay, I would take these chances to try and get in at these levels for either a swing, or I would just keep my eye on it, and then when I see that it's trading strongly, you know, I would scalp it or day trade it. That's how I would do it. But yeah, so Blue Sky, an organization founded by Twitter to build technology aimed at fundamentally changing how social media platforms operate, announced Jay Graber, a founder of social event startup and digital currency developer, to lead the project. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of controversy on. I mean, the social media platforms nowadays are more important than ever. I was just talking this morning with my dad, you know. Of course, he's much more old school than I am, but you know, I find myself that I look for a lot of you know, context in news and social media. So if I see a headline, let's say in Bloomberg or in CNN or something like that, you know, I always take it with a grain of salt and then just look for additional context in social media. Okay, I mean, I'm not gullible to the point where I'm gonna believe everything I see, but you know, I really try to look for different points of view on something that I'm interested in to really have a, you know, complete sort of sentiment on what's going on. You know, a lot of the times also, like for example in this Afghanistan developments, you know, we'll get news, you know, on this side of the continent, but you know, remember, there's people on the ground on social media with their phones out, you know, filming and recording, and those images, you know, and that material is really important to understand a complete context. Okay, because let's just leave it at that. Social media is really important, so it would be interesting to see, you know, what this Blue Sky organization is doing. Movie Free Guy grossed 28 million in the US during its opening weekend, higher than the 15. Unlike other movie, this one was not released on stream simultaneously and is a theater exclusive for next 6 weeks. AMC stock responded positive. No wonder I saw AMC rocketing today. I didn't know why. Thanks, Andres. Yeah, so look at this. I guess that news came out and this thing just blasted. And look at this. This is cool. Okay, so this is forming a little flag right here. Okay, so you see a big surge, and then sort of, you know, a tight. It's not really tight, but it's tight in comparison to this surge. Okay, so not breaking down over VWAP for the entire day. This is a stock that I would be interested in looking at tomorrow. Okay, just because of the momentum it's carrying today. Anyway, all right, so let's look at some individual analyst updates. So American International Group target raised by Morgan Stanley from 60 to 62. Stock currently about 54. Burlington target raised by JP Morgan from 380 to 427. Wow. So let's take a quick look. BURL. BURL. What's up? Oh yeah, this has been ripping. Okay, I can see that target. Darling Ingredients target raised by Raymond James. I really like this one. I really like this analyst. From 95 to 105 at strong buy. DAR. Let's take a look at DAR. Yeah, look at that. Wow, very cool. Oh, not only Raymond James, a lot of analysts from to 96, yeah, from 89 to 89. Okay, so they reported results on the 10th. EPS may not compete. Yeah, okay, so they beat estimates. Pretty cool. Stock on a big uptrend. You know, sort of testing. It looks like recent highs, all-time highs. Yeah, very cool, very cool. very cool. I would be interested to see, you know, this at some if it drops back down to the 50 or the 200 MA, I would consider. So let me send an alert on this because this is interesting. I would like to further research this. So I'm gonna set an alert at 68. So my alert 68. If it's at or below, boom. Okay. There, my alert is created. So if the stock falls to this level, Thinkorswim is gonna let me know. I think that's my brother. Nope. Okay. Yeah. So let's just finish with a recap. Home Depot target raised by Raymond James from 350 to 360. So not super big. Lululemon target raised by JP Morgan from 4 to 450. That's a nice one. That's about a 10% or more, like about a 12.5% increase. I could definitely see that. The market loves this stock. I know we were looking at it a couple of months back. We were waiting for a pullback. Never got it. Yeah, this thing is a beast. Market love this stock. And people love this company too. You know, it's got great products. So big one to keep an eye on. Restoration Hardware. Wow, that's expensive. So yeah, Restoration Hardware, big target raised by Cohen. C Limited target raised by Cohen also from 280 to, I guess, from 240 or 280 from 245. Let's just double check that, make sure it's correct. Wow, yeah, this thing has been on a run. Yeah, so here it is to 345 from 280. Let's see what we wrote here. So to 335. Little typo here. From 280 to 335 at outperform. Yeah, this is a big one. TJX target raised by JP Morgan from 80 to 86, and Ulta Beauty target raised by Oppenheimer from 385 to 415. We like Ulta as well. I know we swing traded this some months ago. Yeah, we like Ulta. All right, cool. Yeah. So, guys, in a nutshell, that's all I got for you today. So, I hope that you enjoy it. Wow. Let me just finish with this. Remember, we looked at LMFAA. Ooh. Look at this. It hit 622 just now. So we were looking at it was at 5 something. We just hit 622, right, on big earnings. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave you with that. And as always, feel free to reach out to us, to write to us, you know, check out our social media, visit our website. And yeah, we wish you all the best, guys, and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.